Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Darvin Ham believes he deserved Lakers' contract extension instead of firing. Milwaukee Bucks assistant coach Darvin Ham is fresh off an NBA Cup title after the Bucks beat the Oklahoma City Thunder on Tuesday night in Las Vegas to win the league's in-season tournament. Ham is experiencing plenty of success lately as a part of Doc Rivers' staff for the surging Bucks, but that doesn't mean he has forgotten about his tenure as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Ham was fired following the Lakers' postseason loss last season at the hands of the Denver Nuggets. Despite a conference finals berth to his name and another playoff appearance to boot, Ham was let go. But he believes that he deserved an extension, he told Mark Spears of Anscape. To do as well as I did, I swear to God, anywhere else I'm probably looking at an extension with what I did, Ham said. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking actual facts. They go from not making it to the playoffs to the Final Four in the NBA, the conference finals. And then you win the in-season tournament, navigate through all the injuries and win both your play-in games to get to the playoffs. People always talk about us losing to Denver, but they never talk about how we got to Denver. We beat a kick-ass young squad in Memphis and we beat Golden State. Ham went 90-74 in his 2 seasons as head coach, but held a 9-12 record in the playoffs en route to his dismissal. Report: Warriors value tops in NBA, Knicks, Lakers next. The NBA, where a big three combination of players often proves successful on the court, has a big three in terms of franchise value too. The Golden State Warriors, New York Knicks and Los Angeles Lakers are the league's most valuable franchises by a wide margin, Sportico announced in its annual assessment Wednesday. The Warriors are worth $9.14 billion, the Knicks $8.3 billion, and the Lakers $8.07 billion, according to the report. Golden State is considered the second most valuable franchise in U.S. sports, trailing only the Dallas Cowboys, $10.3 billion. The assessments include ownership's real estate and team-related businesses such as WNBA franchises. The average NBA team is worth $4.6 billion, a 15% rise over last year and nearly twice the worth from 4 years ago. The Warriors, who have an affiliated WNBA expansion team set to start next year, saw their value go up 10% from 2023. The Knicks had a 12% rise, and the Lakers had a 10% rise. The Brooklyn Nets are fourth on the list with a $5.7 billion value, a rise of 43% from the club's 13th place ranking last year. Billboard cited the Nets' Barclays Center as the world's highest-grossing arena as of April. Rounding out the top 10 are the LA Clippers, $5.68 billion, the for-sale Boston Celtics, $5.66 billion, the Chicago Bulls, $5.56 billion, the Miami Heat, $5 billion, the Houston Rockets, $4.77 billion, and the Toronto Raptors, $4.66 billion. Among the top 10 franchises, only the Lakers and Celtics don't control their venues. The bottom 3 on the list are the Minnesota Timberwolves, $3.29 billion, the New Orleans Pelicans, $3.09 billion, and the Memphis Grizzlies, $3.06 billion. According to Sportico, NBA teams have a higher value-to-revenue ratio than those of any other major U.S. sports league. On that list, MLS is second, followed by the NFL, the NHL, the WNBA, the NWSL, and MLB. Gilbert Arenas doubles down on Kobe Bryant being Robin to Shaq's Batman in 3 of his 5 NBA titles. Who really deserves the credit for the Los Angeles Lakers' turn of the Millennium Dynasty? There's arguably no sport in which legacies are debated by fans, media voices, and former players alike more than they are when it comes to basketball. In addition to the notorious eye test, MVP awards, All-Star appearances, and of course championships are always a big part of the discussion. one of the greatest debates within this overarching discussion is who exactly was the driver of the Los Angeles Lakers three-peat, Kobe Bryant or Shaquille O'Neal. The two NBA legends won their first 3 championships together, forming a partnership the likes of which has rarely been seen, but who was the main man? According to Gilbert Arenas, there's a clear answer. Check out his comments below, in a recent episode of his eponymous show. 3 of his championships, Kobe was the sidekick. Shaq was the dominant force. Is Gil trippin' for saying Kobe was Robin to Shaq's Batman during the Lakers dynasty? pic.twitter.com/nhckdjrcle. Gilbert Arenas, at Gil's Arena Show, December 18, 2024. The comments may have rubbed a few Lakers fans and Kobe admirers the wrong way, but they're probably well-founded. Frankly, after putting aside the fanbase's affection for Bryant, a career Laker, and the basketball community's overall appreciation of his impact on the game, it's almost impossible to disagree with Arenas's argument. When the winning run began, Bryant was a one-time All-Star, a distinction O'Neal had achieved 6 times already. During those 3 years, O'Neal finished in the top 3 of MVP voting each season, winning the award in 2000 as he also secured a scoring title. He also outscored Bryant in each regular season and postseason, and won Finals MVP for all 3 series. Of course, it's not Bryant's fault that he was simply younger than O'Neal and hadn't yet developed his game to the same degree. O'Neal had a 4-year head start, and had already established himself as a superstar with the Orlando Magic before crossing over to LA ahead of Bryant's rookie season. It's just simply revisionist history to imply anything other than the fact that O'Neal was the centerpiece of those particular teams, regardless of who you believe had the better overall career. The debate is even sillier when put in the context of the fact that Bryant got to have his own definitive moments. About a decade later, he was the runaway best player on a Lakers team that won the Western Conference 3 times in a row, including a pair of championships. There's no need to assign these titles to him as well. His late 2000s postseason runs are among the greatest of all time, as he didn't have a sidekick who provided nearly the same level of support he did for O'Neal, forever cementing his status as an NBA great. This article originates on 247 Sports. Grading all 30 first-round picks in the NBA draft. All 30 picks in the NBA draft were graded on draft night. There was no suspense this year as to who would go number 1 overall in the NBA draft. Victor Wembanyama was the expected favorite, and Victor Wembanyama was indeed the pick for the Spurs, but intrigue and drama quickly ensured Thursday in what turned out to be another wild NBA draft night. After wild swings in the market all week flip-flopping between Brandon Miller and Scoot Henderson as the presumptive number 2 pick to Charlotte, the Hornets made the former the selection and passed on the latter in the first big swing moment of the night. Miller lands in Charlotte, where he will pair up with LaMelo Ball in part of a young core that added to its ranks throughout the draft in what turned out to be a nice night for the franchise. Miller's rise up to number 2 pushed Henderson to the Portland Trail Blazers at number 3, followed by back-to-back selections of twin brothers Amen and Ausar Thompson, and in the same order in which they were born. The twins became the first brother pairing in NBA history to be selected in the top 10, as Amen went to Houston and Ausar was scooped up by Detroit at number 4 and 5, respectively. There was plenty of other intriguing and surprising selections throughout the 58-pick draft, and CBS Sports NBA draft analyst Adam Finkelstein was there to grade the values that teams extracted from their picks below. 1. San Antonio Spurs, see Victor Wembanyama, France. The 7'4" prodigy with the 8-foot wingspan has generated the type of praise we have not heard since LeBron James. On top of his insane measurables is a combination of defensive dominance, offensive skill, and uncanny agility for his size. If he can stay healthy, true NBA stardom is a very likely scenario. The Spurs spent years setting themselves up to be in this position and took advantage of it. Grade, A+. 2. Charlotte Hornets, SF Brandon Miller, Alabama. The Hornets brought back in Miller and Scoot Henderson this week, allowing their decision to come down to the final few days. They landed on Miller in a process that has been a bit confusing. It's a unique combination of size and shot making. He has a great mid-range game, too, even though we didn't see it at Alabama. What we haven't seen yet is his finishing at the rim, and the fact that he's so lean is a concern, along with the off-the-court issues that popped up at college. Grade A. 3. Portland Trail Blazers, PG Scoot Henderson, G League Ignite. This was the easiest pick in the draft, and the Blazers nailed it. They get a second high-quality building block alongside Shaedon Sharpe and expedite rebuilding without having to trade Damian Lillard. Henderson is a dynamic athlete and explosive playmaker whose skills should translate after 2 years in the G League. Grade A. 4. Houston Rockets, G/F Amen Thompson, Overtime Elite. He is a top 1% athlete in the NBA tomorrow. We are talking about 6'7" with a 6'11" wingspan, extreme pace and violent leaping ability. What he doesn't have is a jumper. So even though he's a wing in size, he likely will be a playmaker on the ball. This is the start of the second tier of the class, but he's the player with the upside to be right in this spot. Grade A. 5. Detroit Pistons, SF Ausar Thompson, Overtime Elite. Darvin Ham goes off about Lakers firing before second NBA Cup win. Darvin Ham may have had his fair share of struggles as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, but he knows how to help a team win the NBA Cup. Ham, who is now an assistant on Doc Rivers' Milwaukee Bucks coaching staff, is 14-0 in NBA Cup games following the team taking home the trophy on Tuesday. Many Lakers fans wanted to see him gone after last season, and the team decided to fire him after getting knocked out in the first round of the playoffs by the Denver Nuggets. However, Ham doesn't believe he deserved to get let go and decided to go on a rant about his former team. To do as well as I did, I swear to God, anywhere else I'm probably looking at an extension with what I did, Ham told Mark Spears of Anscape prior to the Bucks winning the second-ever NBA Cup. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking actual facts. They go from not making it to the playoffs to the Final Four in the NBA, the conference finals. And then you win the in-season tournament, navigate through all the injuries and win both your play-in games to get to the playoffs. People always talk about us losing to Denver, but they never talk about how we got to Denver. We beat a kick-ass young squad in Memphis and we beat Golden State. Ham went 90-74 in 2 seasons with the Lakers, and the fact that the team is 14-12 this season only helps his case. Regardless, both sides have moved on, but Ham is helping his case that he should get another head coaching job in the offseason. Bucks Darvin Ham doesn't understand Lakers firing after improving team. Milwaukee Bucks assistant coach Darvin Ham understands full well how much pressure comes with coaching the Los Angeles Lakers. Ham was hired as the Lakers' head coach following Frank Vogel's dismissal and did well in his first season, leading them to the Western Conference Finals. However, things spiraled quickly during the 2023-24 season, where Ham seemingly lost the locker room and Los Angeles was subsequently bounced out of the first round of the 2024 NBA playoffs. Ham was relieved of his duties but wound up back in Milwaukee under Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. Ham previously spoke about his dismissal and kept things positive. But after Milwaukee won the Emirates NBA Cup, he had a different tone, believing he helped Los Angeles and would have gotten an extension for his work in other organizations, via Mark J. Spears of Anscape. To do as well as I did, I swear to God, anywhere else I'm probably looking at an extension with what I did, Ham said. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking actual facts. They go from not making it to the playoffs to the Final Four in the NBA, the conference finals. And then you win the in-season tournament, navigate through all the injuries and win both of your play-in games to get to the playoffs. People always talk about us losing to Denver, but they never talk about how we got to Denver. We beat a kick-ass young squad in Memphis and we beat Golden State. Ham also acknowledged he took offense to what was said about his Lakers head coaching tenure and believes he did as well as he could navigating the injury issues on the roster. "I'm not a mudslinger and I'm not going to wait until I'm 51 to become one," Ham said. "You feel like you did enough to sustain in one spot. I felt like I did that. I get it. The franchise I'm working for, the expectations can be unrealistic at certain points in time. To be 33 to 49 when I was hired, with an unbalanced roster, turn that around, make it to the Western Conference Finals. The very next year we were a +10 in wins, going from 33 to 49 to 43 to 39. And guys got paid on my watch. It went from a lot of unknown scenarios to I think we have a little bit of a core. And then we got hit with the injury bug like crazy last season. We might have been top 5 in games lost to injury. It's being reported like I'm just throwing some lineups up against the wall to see what sticks. No man, we were really navigating a lot from guys being hurt to having the oldest player in the league, James, to navigating AD's injury history. It was a lot. Some of the that was coming out? Wow, bro, I don't know X's and O's? I was winging it. Dude, that was the most disappointing stuff, how mean and so much stuff people are saying online. The best thing I could do was block out the outside noise, Ham said. At the end of the day though, Ham said he has no negative feelings toward the franchise even though hasn't spoken much with his former players. "I haven't talked to anybody," Ham said. "When we played them in the preseason, I said hello to a couple of guys. Jackson, Hayes, Cam, Reddish, D'Lo, D'Angelo Russell, Gabe, Vincent. But not really, man. LeBron ran past the bench and we had a little bit of small talk. There is no ill will for me. Their situation is what it is." It was a toxic end between Ham and the Lakers, though both sides have now moved on and appear to be in better places. Scottie Pippen takes shot at Darvin Ham for not believing in him. Like Darvin Ham, Scottie Pippen Jr. is thriving in his new home with the Memphis Grizzlies, but he took a shot at his former head coach for not believing in him while they were in Los Angeles. Lakers legend Magic Johnson gets honest about Bronny James. Magic Johnson still remains a popular figure for Los Angeles Lakers fans. While he no longer plays, coaches, or runs the franchise, the Hall of Fame point guard is never shy in sharing his feelings about the team. In a recent interview with FS1 Speak, Johnson was asked about Bronny James playing with his father, LeBron. Johnson, "Great moment. If I had a chance to play with my son, that would have been a great moment for me. It was great for basketball. I'm happy that LeBron and Bronny got a chance to see that. Hey, I'm not ready yet. Dad said, hey, you not ready yet. Go down to the G League develop, and I think next year he'll probably be ready for the NBA. It was a special moment, and I'm glad that we got a chance to see it." Bronny has played 7 games for the Lakers. During the team's first game of the season, he became the only NBA player to ever share the floor with his father. While Bronny has been unable to crack JJ Redick's rotation, he has gotten a lot of playing time in the G League. The former USC guard is averaging 14.4 points, 2.6 rebounds, 2.4 assists and 1.0 steals per contest, while shooting 37.7% from the field and 20% from the three-point range his first 5 games. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Magic Johnson? Leave your opinion in the comments.